like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
In the last episode of Boruto, we finally got to see the character that we have all been waiting for. Of course, Konohamaru. Now, all jokes aside, of course, it was Momoshiki. In the last episode, we finally got to see Momoshiki, and it was kind of a really big surprise, man, because at first we didn't really expect to see Momoshiki, but of course, after the spoilers did leak, and of course, we've seen some previews about the upcoming episode, a lot of people were anticipating why Momoshiki was in the next episode, why Boruto was talking about the karma seal, and a whole bunch of other things like that. And I do want to talk about the future of if Momoshiki is going to be a bigger part of the Boruto anime. What we do understand is that Momoshiki is going to have a very big influence in Boruto's life in the upcoming episodes or in the upcoming years of Boruto's life. What we understand is that Boruto is pretty much going to be acting as the vessel for Momoshiki, just as for right now. In my opinion, I think that Momoshiki is probably not going to take over Boruto's whole body. That's not what this video is about, but in my opinion, I think that in the upcoming episodes of Boruto and in a lot of the other arcs in Boruto, I think that we're going to start to see a lot more cameos of Momoshiki. In the Boruto manga, we barely see anything with Momoshiki, and what the anime of Boruto is extremely famous for is actually showing us some cameos and cutaways of some Otsutsuki members that we did see in the past. For example, we see Momoshiki and Kinshiki way early on in the Boruto anime, where we didn't really see that into the Boruto manga, mainly because the Boruto manga is just straight to the action at all times. And of course, the Boruto anime, because it has a lot of leeway to pretty much get all that stuff in, now we can possibly get to see some more information and more things being filled in the anime. I think that's probably what they're going to do. And of course, it wasn't just only Momoshiki and Kinshiki. We've seen cutaways with Toneri, we've seen cutaways with Urashiki, and we even seen some cutaways with Kashin Koji as well, with him pretty much stealing some scientific ninjutsu from Katasuke. And just off of those cutaways and cameos that we are going to get to see from Momoshiki, I'm pretty sure we're going to get to grasp a very good understanding about what Momoshiki is actually planning into the future. I did touch on that earlier in this video, but no one really understands what Momoshiki's actual goal is. The times that we did see Momoshiki into the Boruto mangas, at the end of the fight at the Chunin exam, and of course that was mimicked in the Boruto anime, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys remember that scene right there. And the other time was when Boruto kind of shook Kawaki's hand. It wasn't necessarily a handshake, they pretty much locked fingers. That's what they do after they spar, and Momoshiki pretty much popped up into Boruto's mind as if Momoshiki was kind of warning Boruto about Kawaki in that specific moment. And I'm pretty sure like 9 times out of 10 we're gonna get to see a lot more in-depth scene with Momoshiki popping up in Boruto's mind when that actually does get animated. Now hold up, when it does get animated, I have no idea, probably in like a year or so. And of course, the last time that we did see Momoshiki and pretty much destroyed Boro of the Kado organization. The last episode of Boruto was super interesting though. It's mainly because we have the set guideline and set schedule that we thought the Boruto anime was going to follow. Of course, we had the idea that they might include some more things, but to these lengths was a little bit surprising. Of course, we touched on Momoshiki being added into this episode. The karma seal was added into this episode, and this might just be me, man, because Iwabe is one of my favorite characters, but Iwabe was added, and Iwabe was like a big focal point into this episode, mainly because he just did not mesh with tentou at all. And one of the best things that I think we did see in this episode, some of you guys might have not necessarily caught this, I actually didn't catch that first. Boruto for Life actually tweeted this out, and I seen the picture and he pretty much illuminated it. We seen Ao in the ninja cards, and just to refresh some of you guys' memory, Ao was a very big arc that we did see in the Boruto manga, where Boruto and the rest of Team 7 pretty much fought against Ao, and right after that arc we finally got to see Kawaki. So of course that's foreshadowing for a different arc later on down the line, but it was just super interesting seeing the card of Ao. That was absolutely insane. The character building of tentou was on another level in the last episode. Now I don't necessarily want to like completely bash the manga for the character building of tentou, because I do believe that they did a very good job of building the character of tentou. This was actually when the Boruto manga was still kind of going a little bit slow, so they did have the opportunity of building the character of tentou. But I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you guys. The character building of tentou in the last episode was better than the character building of tentou in the whole arc of the manga. It was just that insane. And of course, because they added Iwabe, because they showed how those two characteristics kind of clash, and because they showed Boruto at the end really teasing tentou and really basically getting under his skin at the end, we just really got to know tentou as an individual. And it's sort of like that old saying when you're writing an essay and the teacher says, hey, show me, don't tell me. In the Boruto manga, tentou actually told Boruto like, hey, I bought out the whole ninja card store. And in the anime, we actually got to see tentou buy out the whole ninja card store, and we got to see Iwabe's reaction, we got to see Tentou's reaction to Iwabe's reaction, and then we got to see tentou buy out another store. Now at the end of the episode, we did get to see a little bit in terms of the Muji and the bandits, and they didn't necessarily show us anything too crazy. At the end of the episode, they pretty much said, hey, something happened, it kind of threw a wrench in our plans, but we're gonna tell the boss. we didn't necessarily get to see that much action from the Mujin Bandits. I didn't necessarily expect that we were going to see action from the Mujin Bandits, but now, you know, after this episode, my expectations for pretty much all the episodes in this arc is extremely high. In the next episode, I definitely expect to see a lot more action and a lot more mobilization from the Mujin Bandits hierarchy. And of course, for the people who actually did watch the manga, it's very positive that we did see more Mujin Bandits action in this episode. But in my opinion, these are just definitely good signs and just showing us how the Boruto riders are adapting the Boruto manga, and it's definitely looking up from here. Now, it might not have been the most interesting episode, mainly because it was the first episode of the arc. Well, kind of the first episode of the arc. We know the Hozuki Castle, it seemed like that was part of the arc as well, but let's just say this is the first episode of the arc. The first episode of the arc isn't necessarily always the most interesting of episodes, but just off of the other things that we did see, Momoshiki, we seen Ao, we got to see the character development of Tentou. I think it kind of overperformed what the manga readers' expectations were for this particular episode. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below, and of course, from the anime only's perspective, give me your opinions. I'd like to know what you guys think about this arc so far. But it's me, your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.